What is going on, guys? This is your main man Ben here, and today we got another versus review regarding these two fabulous mic that I dearly love, and I think I would like to contribute on which one is better on your specific use. And I think both of these mics are the best in its class, but they are definitely different, especially on their signatures and their own rights and their own strengths and weaknesses. But I think having both of these mics, given the purpose and usage that you're trying to get into, for our specific purposes, we use it for voiceover gigs, some occasional rapping, some guitars, and I find it, I think on the sub under $300 categories, I think this microphones punches beyond that, level, that range, the mid-range budget or sub $300 microphones, because the quality that this mic produces are amazing. So by the way, we are recording at our Zoom H6. Both microphones are plugged in via XLR. If you guys are not familiar with XLR, you're going to need some cables, some form of cables. Let me show you real quick. These cables right here and these cables right here on top. So you're going to need some cables that goes to your interface. So this is not a USB type, the plug and play type that you see in, regular computers, and then you can just record. You're going to need that cable. So it's an extra things that you have to buy. However, if you get the Rode NT1 as a package, it comes with it. So basically, this is the actual wire that came with it by Rode. So this is the Rode NT1. It comes with the shock mount, pop filter, the actual cable, the XLR cable, which is amazing. It's kind of long. I think it's 10 feet. And it's all packaged. It's all packaged. And let me just get you the specification. And this is how it sounds like. So we are getting the Rode NT1 right now. This is what we're using. So what's amazing about Rode is acoustic principle is pressure gradient. Capsule 1-inch polar pattern is cardioid. It is a side address type. Frequency range is 20 hertz to 20,000 kilohertz. Output impedance of 100 ohms. Maximum SPL of 132 decibels. And this microphone has an equivalent noise level of 4 dBA, which is very, very silent. And on top of that, guys, this microphone is backed by 10 years warranty when you buy it. There's one year warranty from Rode. You can hear that. The Camaro and my neighbor is running. Oh, yeah. That's just how you deal with these things that you record in your environment, especially in voiceover. You got to have a specific area or place that you record. So what we're using here, guys, as you can see, we have some treatments. Got some acoustic panels here. I got some movers blanket. I got some panels on top. That way I can eliminate any ambient noise as much as I can. Those low rumbles, the AC. When it came in, you saw the barn door. That is one of the most biggest culprit in this recording environment that I'm working with. But all of the sound panels, this treatment that I got, it eliminates a lot of those. So it's really important when you use these microphones, since they are very, very, very sensitive, you got to be aware of where you record, because every minute rumbles, those low hertz, furnace, anything, vacuum, footsteps from upstairs, they will pick it up. So it's important to get that first before you decide of getting condenser mics, because these things are really, really sensitive. So moving on, that was the Rode NT1. So the Lewitt 440 is also a condenser externally polarized microphone. Acoustic operation principle is pressure gradient transducer. Diaphragm is 3 micron gold sputtered mylar. It's a polar pattern is cardioid, sensitivity of 27.4, self noise of 7 dBA, a max SPL of 140 dB, a signal noise ratio of 87 dBA, and definitely an internal impedance of 110 ohms. So this is also a XLR cable microphone. And what I notice about this too is, so on the specific usage that you do, it really depends on your voice. So when your voice is a little bit high, like I do, that would be, depending on the mic signature, because some people probably doesn't understand that there's not an all-in-one mic. So if this microphone sounds good in this specific voiceover artist, then it's probably good for everybody. But the problem here is that voices are like instruments. Those tones, those frequencies are different per individual. So that's just my own opinion. I mean, take that as a grain of salt. So if you got a low, smooth, jazzy tone like this, hey, what's going on with you guys? If you like that, then you got to buy a microphone that's a little bit bright. But if you already have a brighter voice or tone, then you might want to, go into the darker side of the microphone, because it's going to, the other way around, because you want a little bit of brightness, because you already got that low voice, you already covered the lower frequency of that part, so it will complement on your voiceover. That's how I look at it. But then again, these are strengths and weaknesses of each microphone. So if you do voiceover things and voiceover gigs, then you would have to select the best microphone in your specific job. At least you have that choice of or signature that you can present to your possible client. And if they want this specific type of tone, then you can use the NT1, because NT1 is so flat. It's so flat. Sometimes though, it sounds a little bit more muddy, like super muddy, that you have to tweak it according to the frequency of your voice. So you got to do the compressions, the EQ, and all that stuff. Also on the Lewitt, it's a little bit bright. It's sparkly. That's his Lewitt signature. So if Rode has that flat frequency, the Lewitt has that little boost on the upper 10,000 hertz side. So it gives your voice a little sparkle. It's kind of bright, like what you're hearing right now. So all of these things right here are unprocessed as is. And if you look at it into the H6, they are running in the same level, guys. So I'm going to show you real quick that these microphones are indeed going into that same level. So but the thing is that to get that proper leveling of both of these mics, I actually have to run the Rode NT1, you can see in channel 4, a little bit higher versus the channel 3 on top on the Lewitt 440. So to be able to achieve that same level and same, at least, as far as we can see visual, then I have to crank a little bit in the Rode NT1. But maybe because, the Lewitt is already being a kind of bright microphone. But I give you my 2 cents here real quick. Now let's go to the test, rapping, and then a little bit of voiceover work. Then let's check it. Check. Wala nang intro banatan na agad dito. Nick sa wabot mo sa'kin, plumapakita natin baong sulat. Tulog na mahimbing, mga datihang praning. Ngayon nagising kayo, gagambalain sa lirikong ipapatikim. Wag ako sisihin kung bakit nagbalik sulat. Laro ng salita ngayon ako'y magkakalat. Ako'y isang mga ngaso hanap ang tawid. Gutom bubuga ko linya, tiyaki kahit bibiyak. Sa kundi diyas parang tabla sa kisame. Gagawing panakit butas pagkasa nito iiyak. Pedro, naalala ko ba? Sekso sa bahada, sabay tulak hindi tuloy biyahing tala. Maraming nagtangkang tabigin pero nandito pa rin. Magkakasubukan tayong hindi kita pahiyain. Baguhan sa pagsulat pero veterano na sa laro di peke. Puro forma, walang respeto sa asawa.
tulad ng basura 273. Nilagdaan ko'y buto-buto nakapila, titira na to. Huwag kang magpabaya sa katayuan mo'y mga matamis na bati, tila lasong kakatay sa'yo. Patunay na di lahat naghamoy kailangan paunlakan. Kultura'y patas walang bago luma. Kahit prening ka pa aning pantay paningin, basta tuloy lang ang dura.
So we're gonna read the script real quick. You can qualify this as a voiceover since it's a script. Okay, here we go. You know the saying, think so shall you become. Wonder why parents ask kids, what do you want when you grow up? Kids think, then become one. When they grow up, that's the goal, planting self-estimate. But we are not gonna focus on kids. We are going to tackle adults. Often we refuse to get self-estimate for some reason. We probably think that downgrade or counterproductive. But really, how can be aware if we deny? To see yourself more than we are. How do we do it? I hope that is a good representation for you guys. So basically, these are the main purpose of this microphones is for voiceover work, for video as well, and it gives that little more punch and more realistic and more pleasing to hear if you have that proper, microphone that you do on that specific project. But all I can say, guys, is these two microphones, I think, is the cream of the crop of the sub 300 microphone category. And if you ask me, I don't think you can go bad whichever one you chose here. But for my specific usage, I'm going to keep both of these microphones because I love this microphone. I have been using the Rode NT1 for more than a year now, and I love this microphone to death. And the fact that it comes with 10-year warranty, think about that 10-year warranty in Rode. That speaks a lot on the company that backs their product, which is amazing. And the Lewitt as well is the new kid on the block, which I think is a very amazing, fantastic microphone, guys. I had a review of this one recently, and just the look and the beauty that it can produce on voiceover. It gives that little punchy and a little bit of sparkle or brightness in your gig. But one more thing that I can share it to you, why I have bought the Lewitt. As you can see, if you do voiceover, you got to have a nice pop filter. That way you can, reduce those Peter Piper. If you have that, then it doesn't have that plosives, that sudden burst of it creates bad, But if you have this thing, then it eliminates, at least lessen it. My problem with the Rode NT1 is you can see this, it's so big. Now, if you're reading a script in front of you, then it can get in the way. That's one thing, a disadvantage of the Rode NT1 when you do a voiceover gig. If you use the LCT 440, it comes with this nice filter. Hang on. Now, if you do the voiceover gig, you just have to take out this filter. Hang on 1 second. It's going to have like a hat. And you just have to slide this. Lewitt comes with this one. And this is magnetic. This is the Lewitt 440. And it's amazing. You can see this big chunkiness. Let's put that down. The big chunkiness of the NT1 when you read some scripts that gets into your way. Definitely gives you that little bit of worriness. But if you use, let me just put this aside real quick. Forgive me on that working environment. But if you use the 440, you can see how low profile this filter. So it gives you that realistic, when reading scripts, you have that awesome stuff there that you can just freely look at your stuff and just concentrate on delivery and not straining your eyes in the long run, no matter, you know, how long you record, then that will create a lot of fidelity for you, you know, freedom. So that's my take on it. Let's take this out real quick. So overall, guys, I think both of these microphones are amazing. My personal pick right now is the LCT 440 for the specific usage that we do. It does give me a lot of freedom when reading scripts and doing some voiceover gig, and it does give me that little bit of you know, leeway. But then again, there's always a downside in it, because the filter for the Lewitt is kind of like, you know, there's a distance that doesn't give you that extra distance from the mic and the filter. So it's not that much effective when you use versus the NT1. However, if you are using a technique, when you position yourself and you do a lot of tests which maximizes the potential of the microphone, then it is very doable, given also that you have this recording space that you use, very important, and then that would contribute to the overall performance. It brings everything together, and I think it complements it. But as for today, guys, this is my review for both of these microphones. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Always remember, God is good all the time. Peace out.